Welcome back to the review space. In this video, I am going to recap the results of last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, September 5th, 2016. Alright, so let's begin. Earlier in the show, Mick Foley spoke to Stephanie backstage, said he wanted to trust Stephanie McMahon because of what happened last week with Triple H, essentially embarrassing Mick Foley, taking away the title from his shoulders and giving it to Kevin Owens. And basically Stephanie's answer was that she felt embarrassed herself by her husband Triple H, said she had nothing to do with Triple H's decisions. And I understand the approach that they're trying to give here. The storyline is that she has no idea. She's not included in the decision of Triple H. This isn't the old authority angle anymore. There's shades of that, it's still, Stephanie still comes across as, the unlikable authority figure, but at the same time, I think that she's not aligned with Triple H. At least, they're trying something a little bit different. They're trying to make it like she's not a part of this decision. Mick Foley said he wants to know if Stephanie's still the young woman that he met back in the late 90s, way back in 98. And I mean, we certainly remember her as the shy, innocent young woman back in '99 when she first started appearing in the Attitude Era. And I mean, I bought it hook, line, and sinker when I was a kid. When I was a kid in the late '90s watching WWF, Stephanie was just this innocent girl. She was this innocent character. I liked her. She harmless, she bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, kind of, fresh new character, innocent, and then she became a complete heel, and for like the past 16, 17 years or whatever, she's been an evil, heelish female bitch character. And so it's very difficult to trust her. If she ever, obviously aligns herself with Triple H again, certainly wouldn't surprise me. So it's difficult to fully buy into her babyface. I'm not a heel. I'm not a villain. All right, we got Kevin Owens celebrating with Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley in the ring. A lot of balloons here and pyro, lots of pyrotechnics and fireworks. Good for Kevin Owens. That was a great celebration. But Kevin Owens basically addressing the fans, calling them idiots, and he said he didn't like the fans chanting, "You deserve it, you deserve it," and it is kind of annoying when the crowd tries to hijack the show. It becomes repetitive, especially with the chants. Over the past many years now, they've been chanting different things, so it's great for an actual villain to heel it up, play the bad guy, and actually address the crowd, make them boo him, even if they, respect him, they like his character. Good for Kevin Owens saying fuck off, basically. Seth Rollins confronting the three of them. He joins the segment. Stephanie tries to suspend Seth Rollins, but Mick Foley was like, you know what? We're going to schedule a match instead. We're going to have Rollins going up against Kevin Owens at Clash of Champions for the Universal Championship. I think this match should be good. This is going to be probably one of the better matches of that particular pay-per-view event, but I do expect Kevin Owens to retain. I don't see him losing it at all to Seth Rollins. It just doesn't make sense at this point. It's a little too early for him to lose it. All right, we got Chris Jericho. Kevin Owens, Mick Foley, and Stephanie. They had some words backstage, exchanging some insults back and forth. Jericho calling Kevin Owens. He complimented him the longest reigning Universal Champion of all time, which is funny and true, but it's only been about a week. Stephanie McMahon, she defended Mick Foley after Chris Jericho insulted him. The two seem to be on the same side with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, wondering, what's going on with those two. They're kind of weird. It's like, yeah, they really are trying to put over Stephanie as the what do you call it? The contested ally of Mick Foley. There's a bit of a tension between the two. They're not always on the same page, but at the end of the day, they're both on the same basic authority, general manager position. Alright, we got Bayley defeating Charlotte in a non-title match after Charlotte colliding with Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke was outside, and she basically was hit by Charlotte's forearm. That's all it really was. But I think this is going to lead to the eventual fallout between Charlotte and Dana. I think that Dana might end up becoming like the babyface, and she becomes, the favorite going up against Charlotte. But it's still a weird dynamic because Dana is trying to prove herself to Charlotte. She's trying to be the sidekick still. And in this match, Bayley sold her leg as if she got like a little bit injured and it was hurting a little bit. It reminded me too much of the Sami Zayn stuff. Sami Zayn's already doing it with his ankle, so Bayley with her leg. I understand they're trying to make it believable, but I do appreciate the selling. They're trying to give reason for Bayley having some kind of weakness. Still, Bayley was able to pull off the victory regardless of her supposed injury, and then later on, Charlotte was yelling at Dana Brooke backstage afterwards. Dana saying that, hey, I'll make it up to you, but Charlotte completely was just yelling at her, just angry, and she bitch smacks her right to the side of her left cheek. It looked very painful, similar to a Stephanie McMahon style of slap, and Dana looked like she was in tears. Very embarrassing moment for Dana Brooke. And then we get a promo for Connor's Cure. They have a new logo now. It's got they're wearing it as a pin. Stephanie and Mick and a few of the other wrestlers as well, they're wearing that pin on their t-shirts. They got that logo displayed on the side of the ring and on the ramp when they come down. So it looks like the WWE is really promoting this thing. I don't know how to feel about this work of WWE in the pediatric cancer thing. I understand they're trying to promote something, trying to help out, but their motives is what really bothers me, especially after guys like CM Punk. He felt the Susan G. Komen, the cancer thing with Susan G. Komen was a scam. That organization was basically a scam or a fraud. On one hand, it feels like WWE is exploiting these sick kids, and that's really sad. It feels like they're just doing it for PR campaign, just for publicity. Including the thing with Connor, who died over 2 years ago, just an 8-year-old kid. But on the other hand, if the kids themselves, they enjoy it, they feel happy, they get a joy out of seeing the WWE wrestlers and being exposed to the WWE product and having that a part of their lives, and if that makes them happy, puts a smile on their face, then who am I to argue with that? Alright, we got Bo Dallas coming out and holding a Believe in Bo sign, like a political sign. He squashed some nameless jobber. He just kicked this jobber's ass. Must have been embarrassing for the jobber because Bo Dallas, it feels like Bo is he's very charismatic. I like Bo Dallas, especially when he first came in with, the Believe gimmick. Very comedic. He has a lot of potential, but I think that the WWE has basically buried him for such a long time. They made him look so weak, so it's going to take a lot of rehab to build this guy back up as a potential challenger for any of the titles, including the mid-card title or anything like that. It just feels he came off that what was that with Heath Slater and them, not the 3-man band, what the hell was it, the Social Outcasts, so that was already a burial there. But I hope he comes back, he bounces back. Solid match between Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho. This was a back and forth, good match, slow pace, your typical WWE style match. Rollins eventually hits the pedigree on Chris Jericho and he gets the victory. Chris Jericho, he actually landed on his knee when he took it in. It wasn't, the full old school pedigree where the guy doesn't hold his knee out to cover the fall. So I kind of missed that version of the pedigree. That pedigree looked a lot more vicious, where Triple H would do it, and the character, his opponent, would just lay completely horizontal, and they would just take it head on. Jericho doesn't wrestle like he used to back in the mid-late 90s. Back in the day when I used to watch WCW. This guy was a maniac cruiserweight. He was high-flying everywhere. He was very aerial in his style. But he can still put on a good basic WWE style match, very slowed down, like I said before, I think he hits enough of his signature maneuvers to engage the crowd. Like, oh, he does the lion saw, and he does the frickin' walls of Jericho, and maybe sometimes even a lion tamer once in a blue moon. So he's become this reliable veteran that he's been around for over 20 years, over 2 decades, and he can put over the younger guys as his career winds down. And he's definitely near the end of his career as opposed to the beginning, a lot closer to the end of his career. Sheamus defeating Cesaro in their 3rd match, a best of 7 series, 3-0 for Sheamus. He hits the brogue kick on Cesaro. He worked on his back a lot, gave him a backbreaker like 4 different times, at least 4 times. The fans still chanting towards Sheamus, "You look stupid. You look stupid," at Sheamus, which I think is a pretty stupid chant in and of itself, because I don't find anything wrong with Sheamus. He looks like your typical WWE wrestler. He's got the mohawk, the nose ring. He doesn't have the braided beard anymore. He used to have the, it's kind of like braided, almost like a pirate. But his look was basically made for the Ninja Turtles movie. He changed his look for that specific role, I think, and so that's to plug the Ninja Turtles movie. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't think he looks stupid. I think he looks fine. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers that look kind of silly or goofy or kind of weird looking, but I don't think that they look stupid in the context of pro wrestling, including Sheamus. I think he looks normal, you know what I mean? So, stupid chant. Shining Stars having a match against Enzo and Big Kaz. The Shining Stars from Puerto Rico, they get the upset victory. Good for them. Epico and Primo, they're very good at their job. I like them. Their selling, their moves, their technical ability. They're very good. And they have personalities. It's obvious, their mannerisms, the way that they come across on screen. It's really just too bad that they've been given this really forgettable gimmick. Nobody cares about this gimmick. It's a jobber gimmick, I think. It's a crappy, lame, just shit gimmick. It's cool to see them get a win, though, and I hope that they build up these two as a potential for the tag team, titles. They got a lot of talent, and they've been around for many, many years too. Epico and Primo. Carlito is definitely missed, but Epico and Primo, I think, are also kind of underrated in their own right. We got Nia Jax squashing another jobber, this time a woman named Ann Esposito. Apparently she was a buddy of Alicia Fox. They had a little photo on social media together. And Nia, she might as well start using Mark Henry's finishing move, the World's Strongest Slam, because her current move, it seems very similar to it. It seems like it's changing every 5 seconds. Like last time it was kind of a fireman's carry into a side slam, but this time it's more of a body slam thing. So I don't know what's going on with her finishing move. Just give her Mark Henry's finishing maneuver. She's got the size. It looks convincing. So Gallerson brings out the old day rocks. This was basically a geriatric parody of the New Day. They tried to have a funny segment together. It seemed very kind of boring, but I thought it was kind of mildly amusing, in my opinion. It was just kind of goofy, try to make it silly, have a silly segment for the crowd to laugh at, but the fans didn't care. The fans in the audience, the entire crowd was dead heat. Nobody gave a fuck about this. I would expect Gallows and Anderson to become the new World Tag Team Champions in the upcoming, I guess it's Clash of Champions. They're having a match for the tag team belts against New Day. New Day's been champion for well over a year, so that's good for them, but I think it's about time that they lose it. I think we all think that it's why not, we give it to Anderson and Gallows, give it a little bit of a change of pace, and they ended up beating up the Old Day too. New Day jumped the guys, the Old Day guys, so it was a nothing segment. I thought it was kind of funny in some respects, but let's just move on. Darren Young defeating Jinder Mahal, getting into a brawl with Titus O'Neil later on in the match, or after yeah, Darren ended up defeating Jinder in basically a nothing match. Jinder Mahal is a jobber, but Titus O'Neil gets beaten up by Darren Young, and I don't know, I have no clue where this storyline is going, but it is cool to see Bob Backlund on WWE TV in 2016. That's pretty cool. This man was the WWE champion way back in the late 1970s. He's been wrestling for generations, and he can still perform. So that's, and especially thinking back, people from the 70s, the 80s, a lot of those guys are not around anymore. They died, passed away. They're just not, and the ones that are still alive, their bodies are broken down and they can't do anything. But Bob Backlund, for him to still be active and still be at it, this guy is a beast. So Bob Backlund, a real WWE legend. It's awesome seeing him here. Alicia Fox gets some heated words backstage with Nia Jax. She got really angry after Nia was mocking her friend getting squashed earlier, and then we see a bit of the old Stone Cold Alicia Fox, the crazy Alicia Fox that she used to have a couple of years ago, when she would just flip out after her matches, and she would like open up beer cans or drinks, and she would like spray it across the fans, and she would spray it on herself. She would be just acting a fool, throwing things around, wrecking property. It was a great gimmick. I like that version of Alicia Fox. I thought it was awesome. It's a damn shame WWE never gave her a solid title run during that feud. I think she was having matches with Paige, who was the Divas champion back then. And Alicia Fox, I don't think she ever became champion at that point. But and yeah, it really sucks that like Alicia, she wasn't even included in the games, in the fucking WWE video games. I got 2K14. I've had that for a couple of years, and she's not even included in there. So it's so fucking stupid. I think she's one of the better divas, very underutilized, I think. I mean, I hear she botches and things like that. She doesn't get every move right, and maybe she makes mistakes here and there, but very pretty girl, very talented, very charismatic. She's been employed for many, many years, too. Been around for a long time. So I don't know what the fuck they should do something with her. I think she's very good. She's very good. Alicia Fox. Braun Strowman taking on Sin Cara and gets a count-out victory. Now, I could have sworn that Sin Cara or Braun Strowman, one of them broke the count at one point in the match, but whatever. I mean, Sin Cara, he basically is just a glorified jobber at this point. He does keep Hunico employed, keeps him employed by WWE, keeps the paycheck coming in. Hunico, I think he's great, reliable, good hand, but as far as the Sin Cara gimmick is concerned, it's just not getting him anywhere. But what are you gonna do? They need stars to put over the other guys, so it is what it is. Sasha Banks coming out to say that she's got some bad news. Now, WWE basically hyped this up throughout the episode. They would always advertise, Sasha's got some bad news. She's got some bad news. So I'm thinking, like, okay, they're working an angle here, but I'm not sure what it is. And then in this promo, in the middle of the ring, Sasha almost implied that she might have to retire because of her injury, her back injury. She gets interrupted by Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke comes out. Dana says she'll use Sasha's broken body to get over. But instead, Sasha hits Dana Brooke with her finishing move, the bank statement, and looks like she's a complete badass. She looks like she'll face Charlotte at the Clash of Champions. That's what she said. And basically saying that she is completely fine, or she's not in a bad shape. The bad news is for Charlotte, because she's going to go face Charlotte for her championship. That was cool. It definitely got the crowd going. But throughout most of the promo, I think the crowd was basically like, what? They were chanting what? They were kind of bored. They were like, this is boring. The fans were not really into Sasha's promo, because it was almost like they were just bored. The fucking crowd gets. They'll chant, they'll yell different things. Especially at an angle like this where they weren't sure where it was going at first. It was like, what is she saying? Is she saying she has to retire? She's got to go. She's got to go away. Is this just a fucking work? I think the crowd was just like, whatever. But afterwards, when she hit Dana Brooke with that fucking move, and she said she's gonna face Charlotte. That was a good reaction. They were like, yes, Sasha Banks is still kicking ass. Alright, Kevin Owens going up against Sami Zayn in the main event. It's a non-title match. Good action back and forth between these two. Slow paced, it's not nearly as good as the best of these two have to offer, especially against each other. But Sami Zayn was selling his ankle injury throughout most of this match. He's got this ankle thing where that's his weakness, similar to the Bayley thing with her leg. Kevin Owens took advantage, kicks him in the face, hits him with a jackknife powerbomb. He couldn't, throw him to the ropes because obviously the ankle thing, that wouldn't make any sense. So he hit him with a Kevin Nash style powerbomb instead for the finish. Roman Reigns coming out. His music hits. Bum, bum. I love his theme song. I don't care what anybody says. I do like Roman Reigns. It's just when his music comes out, the whole crowd boo. The whole crowd boo. They just don't give a fuck. They hate Roman Reigns. They like to boo this guy. Mick Foley scheduled a match. Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns. I guess it's next week, potentially qualifying Reigns in a triple threat at Clash of Champions if he can win against Kevin Owens. And then at the end of the segment, Chris Jericho came out. Roman Reigns spears him for good measure. He hits the fucking spear. Roman Reigns theme music closes out the show. So Roman Reigns looking strong. And do I think that he should be in the triple threat? Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably include him in, so it doesn't even matter. But I do think that it does add his name brand to the match. But this triple threat thing is, they always have triple threats now. It's become so commonplace in WWE. I would like to see a one-on-one match because I think it's more intense that way. It's more like a personal thing. Wouldn't surprise me if they include Roman Reigns in this fucking match at all. But Kevin Owens is going to retain that match. So that's it for this episode of The Review Space, Monday Night Raw, September 5th, 2016 episode. Thanks for watching, and check out the rest of the channel for more wrestling reviews, WWE related. Peace out.